unit testing is a crucial aspect of software development. That's why it should be almost always implemented because of different reasons, like for example, detecting bugs and increase our code quality. In this video, we're gonna see how to use JUnit 5 in Java and an example of a unit test. So let's go in this example, we are going to use JUnit Jupyter with the version 5.10.1. That is the last version. So you will need to have the same version as a dependency in Gradle or Maven in order to execute this test. Also, we have like two classes. The first one is a user service that it has two methods. It has create user and get user. And to make it simpler, we are going to use a map in order to save our users as a database. Also, we will have a record called user.dto that is saving just a name. So in order to start, we should go to the folder tests and then the folder Java, and then we should create a new Java class called user service test. After that, we can, for example, split our windows, and then we can explain that first, before creating a test, we need to think what exactly are we expecting in order to create the test. So we want to create a test in order to verify that create user is creating the user that we are sending to the method. For starting, then we should create a method public void test1, for example, and then we could create an instance of the service like user service equal new user service, and then we could call user service dot create user, and then we have to send what exactly the parameters that we required. For example, we could have final string id equal to id1, and then we will have a user that is user.dto user equal new user DTO with the name Mikhail, and then we will send the ID and the user that we want to save in our database. After that, we are going to save the result as a user DTO in a variable called uResult. But then we need to verify if this user is exactly the user that we are expecting. In order to do that, JUnit or Jupyter are giving us a bunch of methods that is in the class assertion in order to verify if the result is exactly the same as the user that we send it. If we go to the class assertions and we make dot, we will see different kind of method that the assertion class provides us. That it could be assert equal, that is expecting two parameters in order to prove that the test is success. But it has another ones, like for example assert true, that it requires a boolean to know if the assertion is true or false. But it has another ones like fail, that is basically failing the test if it's getting to this line code. So I recommend you that you check the assertion that you require depending on the test. To this example, we are going to use assert equal, and the first parameter are we going to send the expected result that we are expecting. So for example, we can have another variable to say user.dto expected, and then we can create the user that we are expecting, that in this case is a user with the name Mikhail. So then we can send the parameter expected as its first parameter, and then result as the second parameter. And then in order to make this method test1 as a unit test, we should use the annotation test. After that we write our annotation test, we can see on the left side that we could run the test with the ID that in this case is IntelliJ. So we could just basically click and run our test and see if our test is success. In this case, as you can see, is unsuccess, is failing. Why? Because it described that we are expecting a user with the name Mikhail, but the actual result is null. So that means that our method createUser is returning a null and not the user. So we can see that in our implementation of createUser, we are returning what put is returning us. And instead of that, what we can do in order to make our tests pass, instead of returning what put return, we could return from the hash map the user by the ID that we are sending. And now if we are running the test again, we can see that it's green and our test is success. But of course, we can write different tests, like a test that it should fail. For example, in this test 2, we want to test that if we are sending Mikhail, then we are not expecting, for example, Ryan. So if we run the test now, we see that the first one is success, but the second one is failing. Why? Because it's expecting Ryan, and instead of Ryan, it's sending Mikhail. And this is exactly what we want, but the verification of the assertion is not right. So instead of assert equal, we could use assert not equals, because we are not expecting that we are saving Ryan, we are saving Mikhail. So if we run the test again, then now both our tests is success. But JUnit is providing some other annotations to make our life easier. For example, instead of create an object in every single test, we could create an object of user service every time that we are running a test. In order to do that, we can create public void setup with the annotation before each. And then we could, instead of having the user service in every method, we could create the user service per class and create the instance inside of user service inside of the setup method, and we could remove user service from there. Now, with the annotation before each, what we are telling is every time before the test is going to be executed, first you're going to execute the method setup. So then we will have a new instance every time in the user service before each of the tests. So if we run it again, we can see that it's running fine and it's success. If we debug our unit tests, in each of the tests, we can see that exactly first of any test execution is going to be stopped in the setup because it has a before each annotation. If we run in, then if the test 1 is going to be executed, then coming back to the setup method and finally to the test 2, and then finishing all the tests. But if we see the test method that its name is test1, it doesn't explain anything, and that shouldn't be a good way to describe a test. JUnit let us with another annotation that is display name, where we can use a string in order to change the name of the test and give an explanation of what this test does. For example, given a user with the name Mikhail, when calling create user, then a new user with the name Mikhail is created. If we now execute the test again, we can see the difference between our test 1 and test 2 at the bottom, because at the test 1 we can see that the description that we made in display name annotation is displayed at the bottom and explaining what the test requires or what is the description of the test. And the test 2, we can see no description and just the name of the method. So it will be really useful to use display name in order to explain what our test does. So that is everything what a unit test is. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you like it. But even though if you have any questions or comments, please let this comment at the bottom in the comment section, that I will try to answer it as soon as possible. So I hope that you really like it. Also, I do recommend you that you check the first comment, where you can find probably more information, and following me in other social media. I hope that you really liked this video, and see you in the next one. Bye!